Okay, now it's your turn to try. I'm going to zoom in real quick. Here's some examples of some triangles. Go ahead and do question number 1 and number 2. That makes you play with those special triangles. See if you can figure those 2 out. Pause it and we'll come back here in just a minute to solve it. Alright, let's see how you did. When you look at number 1, you have a 45 and a 90, so that means that's a 45. So by definition, it's a 1, 1, square root of 2. So if this is a 25, then this is a 25. So there's that answer. And so this one's 25 square roots of 2. So those are the answers you should have gotten. In the next one, it's a 30, 60, 90. So the pattern is 1, or is x, 2x, x squared root of 3. Now look what they gave us. If x squared root of 3, and they got the square root of 3, it's already here. Well, let's see. If we had this as, let's say this was square root of 3. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm looking at the 6. I'm looking at the wrong thing. The 6 doesn't have that square root of 3, so the square root of 3 disappeared. So it's something times the square root of 3. So what if we had 2 square roots of 3 times square roots of 3? Those things become a 3, and 3 times 2 is 6. So that means this is 2 square roots of 3. Double that is 4 square roots of 3. Let's check our math. Is 2 square roots of 3 times the square root of 3 is 2 square roots of 3 times the square root of 3 ends up being 6. So we got it. Took me a second. I lost the 6, but now I got it. Now, what I want to show you how to do is number 7 for a second, and then I'm going to put some added questions. So if you want to go ahead and try some of these, you might want to pause for a minute and try those. Make sure you can get them. And I want to show you how to do number 7, because it's not a 30, 60, 90 triangle. So I'm going to move it up a little bit, and I'm going to zoom in on this one, and I'm going to show you how to do the math here. So when you go to work a problem like this, if you do, it's not a 30, 60, 90, but they gave us this angle is 67. I know this is the hypotenuse and this is the opposite. So if I do the sine of 67, the sine of 67 by definition SOHCAHTOA is opposite over hypotenuse, and that's an x. I could have used cosine, because I still don't know it, but I'm just going to use that. Now use a little algebra to solve here. If I put that over 1, then what I can actually do is this, cross multiply. X times sine 67 equals 16. But I want to know x. I want to know x. So we're pretending that we need to know this side. I know they want just the measure of that angle, which you could easily do by taking 90 and 67 and subtracting from 180. That's easy, but I'm trying to get the sides now, because I know you can get the inside angles. That's no big deal. If I divide by sine 67, it's sort of like stuck together, then x is going to be equal to 16 divided by sine 67. I'm going to show you that on my calculator. 16 divided by, I'm going to go ahead and open a parentheses, sine 67, close the parentheses, and I get an answer of 17.4. And I want to talk the logic real quick. If this is 17.4, that's a hypotenuse. That's the longest side. Is that logical? Well, yes. That if this is the smallest, and that's longer, and that's the longest, that's 17.4. If I wanted to now get this one, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the cosine of 67. So that's the adjacent. No, it's best if I use, let's see, I know that side for sure. Opposite over adjacent was tangent. Okay, so let's say tangent of 67, which would be 16 over x. 16 over x, opposite over adjacent. So when I go to do this math on this one, I cross multiply. It's x tangent 67. That's cross multiplying there, equals 16 times 1. Divide by tangent 67, and I will get that side. So on my calculator, I would take 16, clear it real quick. 16 divided by tangent, let it back up, put parentheses, tangent of angle 67. And this time you can see the numbers on the screen a lot better. It's 6.8. 6.8. So let's see if the logic works on that. So I'm going to show you the other math again since it didn't show the first time. That was dividing by, the first one was dividing by sine. So if I had 16 divided by, open parentheses, sine 67, there's that 17.4. And then if I did the 16 divided by tangent 67, there's that 6.8. See if that's logical. Small number, bigger number, biggest number. That's how I would do it. It's not a special triangle in this case. It's not a 45, 45, 90 or a 30, 60, 90, but I can use sine, cosine, and tangent to solve for it and got all the answers. I would suggest that you try to do the rest of these in here. Okay? But what I'm also going to do, and you might want to pause the video so you can draw them out, but I'm going to add a few more. Here's a few more because it just takes a little practice to get it done. Here's a few more. Again, playing with special triangles, or sometimes that aren't special triangles, you can use SOHCAHTOA to get the answers. Good luck.